Yeah, depression. Speaking about depression is depression is real. Like, uh, I think if you've been depressed before, it's always because of something social, like like because of something that happened socially, or because uh you lack something socially that you want. Like you want this thing and then you can't get it, and then you're depressed, or you don't feel like good enough about yourself in something, or something traumatic happens to you or to people around you, and then you get depressed. Like maybe if you've been in war, for example, you get depressed. But depression is real, yeah. Like, yeah, I think there is depressive feelings. Like, uh, if you've had, like, maybe you are, for example, you see people socially, or you're in a room with many people, and they might say, why are you so quiet? Why aren't you speaking? Why don't you say anything? And then you somehow lash out verbally, or you have this, what it is, you have this aggressive expression. You have this you have this aggressive expression, and then you kind of explode. Instead of having this kind of everything's all right, you have this aggressive expression, and then you lash out. Like it's like you're frustrated about something, and then you lash out, and then it's that's depressive feelings. But that might not be depression itself, because you might, like, maybe something happens to you, and you get feelings that are, you want to die, you don't want to live anymore, or you, in your head, you're like, yeah, when I get to this age, when I get to, like, whatever, 29 or whatever, I want to die. Or when you get, you have this sort of suicidal feelings, and it's not rational, obviously. It's not like, uh, it's not rational feelings, but they happen because of something that happened to you socially. But when you're actually depressed, the way to describe depression is, if you drink a liquid, for example, if you drink soda, uh, it's like you when you choke, or you eat something and you choke, and then it's constantly like, and then you can't breathe. But imagine that you can't breathe. You can't breathe. You can't breathe at all, and then that goes on for hours and hours and hours. Or it's like you have a sore throat, so you have to clear your throat, right? You have to, like, you have a sore throat, and then, but you feel that in your head. You have a sore throat, and you have a runny nose, and you feel that in your head. That's what depression is like. Or you're really sad and you cry all day. You cry, you cry, you cry. It doesn't stop. Um, or maybe you get some sort of. Sometimes you're angry. Like you're angry. You're angry. Um, so it's like either you're sad or you're angry. And when you try to think, like, when you think, like, oh yeah, what's small, like, how does it, like, it's like, for example, like, when you think like, yeah, maybe I should correct the I see through camera. Maybe I should correct the way this is placed. Like you think and you do something, right? But when you're depressed, uh, you can't think of anything at all. You can't think of anything at all, and you constantly want to sleep all day. You don't want to do anything. You don't even want to eat. You don't even want to. You don't want to do anything at all. You would just want to sleep. Um, and when you're awake, you're kind of in a. It's like walking through fog, or you are constantly sad, or you have a sore throat in your head again, as I explained. It's like having a sore throat in your head and fog, and so you can't see anything. It's like or you're really angry. Sometimes you're angry. You're just angry, or you're just sad all the time. Um, you know, that's what being in depression is like. Yeah, that's what having depression is like. But some people have it. I've heard people have it for years and years, but you can have depression that's high functioning. Maybe that's suicidal feelings, like you have suicidal feelings about something, but you still function and you still wake up and you make dinner and go do all that kind of stuff. That's more high functioning, but low functioning is you don't want to do anything. You're constantly sad all the time. You cry for hours and hours, or you're angry, or you have a fog in your head. You have a sore throat in your head. That's what depression is like. So people who say depression does not exist are lying. Depression does exist. If you've been through it, you know. Like, is a lot of depression self-inflicted? Like maybe a lot of it is self-inflicted, but you can't really control bad feelings. Sometimes, when you have sad feelings or you're frustrated about something, it takes over your life. You can't. Sometimes, if everybody could control that stuff, nobody would be depressed. But that's not what life is like. Sometimes you can't control bad feelings and they happen to you and you get depressed. Sometimes stuff happens in life and it affects you and you get depressed because of it. You can't just think yourself out of depression. Depression doesn't work like that. If it did, nobody would be depressed. Everybody would just they would think themselves out of depression. They would, they would they would, oh shit, they would let's, I don't know, they would let me draw myself out of depression. They would yeah, I'll just think myself, because you think when you draw myself out of depression. No, depression doesn't work like that. When you're depressed, and if you've experienced it, you've experienced it. But yeah, obviously, it doesn't last forever. When people say it gets better, yeah, of course it gets better, and that's a good thing because no, yeah, I mean, nobody wants to be depressed. Nobody wants to be depressed, but that's the rant. I have nothing. I don't have much more to say about that. But yeah, it does get better. For people who think it's never gonna get better, it is gonna get better. But just give it time. Just give it time. Do something that you like doing when you were a child. That might help you. That's my advice.